Hello, and welcome back to Making Vegan Ordinary podcast, where we talk with members of our community, sharing experiences and learn from each other, hopefully providing a little community to some of you along the way. I'm your host, Chloe, and we'll be talking to @Vegan Somehow.
Hi.
Hello. Would you like to give a brief introduction to yourself, such as your name, what you do, and how people listening can go and support you?
Okay, my name is Haley Kensrud. I live in Oregon in the USA. My job is I work for a bank here in Oregon. I just work in back operations, and it's pretty boring. But I am married and I have 3 kids. And I run my vegan food account @Vegan Somehow. And if you could come follow me, I like to share just my experiences as a busy working mom, a full-time working mom, and trying to get my kids to eat plant-based. And another thing that part of my experience is that I share custody of my older kids. And so part of my experience is dealing with a non-vegan home when they're with their dad, and then having a vegan home when they're with me. So just my experience with that. Just go follow me.
So, how long have you been vegan for?
So I first went vegan when I was 15 in 2002. So if we're doing the math, I'm now 33. So I went vegan when I was 15, 14, 15, and I was vegan for about 5 or 6 years, maybe longer than that. But I took a break. I transitioned into a vegetarian, and then I even incorporated meat when my first son was born. When I was pregnant with my first son, cravings and all of that kind of stuff kind of just clouded my judgment, and I stopped being vegan for a while. But then a year and a half ago, because I've dabbled with it off and on. But a year and a half ago, I recommitted, and I've been fully vegan for about a year and a half again.
Yeah. So you already spoke about what your transition was like. So you've on and off, and now you're fully committed again. So originally, when you were 15, why did you go vegan?
So there was a song, and I remember hearing the song called "Open Your Eyes" by this band called Goldfinger. And I was 15. They were kind of like punk adjacent, and I just felt like growing up, I never really liked eating meat. Like whenever we went out to restaurants or something, I never got meat meals. I ate so many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches growing up, and meat never really appealed to me.
Yeah.
And so by the time I was 15, I wanted to try my own thing, and learning a little bit about vegan lifestyle. And I've always been an animal lover, and always wanted to be a veterinarian growing up. So it just seemed like a good fit for me at that time, and it was a lot different back then. I'll say that much.
Yeah. So what differences did you notice then between when you were 15 versus now?
Well, just having access to other vegans, because being able to connect to other vegans has made such a huge difference. Because back then, we didn't have social media as it is today, and being vegan wasn't really that popular, especially in my area. And just being able to search online for a vegan or a vegetarian recipe was really, really difficult. And the product was so different too.
Yeah. I would say the products have definitely probably changed a lot over the years. There's definitely more variety now than there probably was back then.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's say a year and a half ago, what inspired you a year and a half ago to go vegan again?
Well, so many documentaries have come out, and even while I wasn't vegan, I've always been open to it. And, it's always interesting to me. It had been even when I wasn't following a vegan lifestyle. And then I was watching documentaries like Cowspiracy. I mean, because like Netflix put on a bunch of documentaries. So they had Cowspiracy and Forks Over Knives and then Game Changers.
Mm.
And then a huge thing that happened for me was I was finishing up my breastfeeding journey with my youngest son.
Mm.
And so I was hormonal and like everything was so emotional to me. And then just watching those documentaries and just relearning, or even I think there were things I didn't understand about the dairy industry.
Mm.
And being a mom that was, breastfeeding and learning about like mother cows having to be, treated the way they are, have their babies taken away from them. I was like, I can't handle this anymore. So yeah, that was really affecting me. And it was just like, okay, I have to stop. I have to stop because this is affecting me so bad.
Yeah. Do your family and friends respect your veganism?
Yeah, so my husband has gone along with me. He's he isn't, I mean, to make veganism easier for him, he has his like maybe one day out of the month that he doesn't have a vegan meal, that sort of thing. But other than that, he's been completely committed to the vegan journey with me. My kids have been great about it, and like friends and family, they've been completely supportive. A couple people like to make jokes, which like is not my favorite thing because I try not to be confrontational about it.
Yeah.
So I think probably because I'm not confrontational about it, it makes it easy as well. But other than that, it's been pretty, I haven't had a whole lot of difficulty.
No? So what's like Christmas and Thanksgiving like then for you as a vegan?
Well, I mean, like I'm not big on holidays, so it's really a non-issue for me because I mean, I don't have any nostalgia for these like big meat meals. And plus I didn't eat meat growing up anyway. So it's, for me, I think just in my personal case, it's like, it's been a non-issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say that your kids eat plant-based as well?
Yeah. So, my youngest son, well, I have 3 sons.
Okay.
My older sons, I share custody with their dad. And so they are not, they're meat eaters when they're at their dad's house. Like I don't have any control. They don't have any control over what they eat. So it's like, I'm just going to not have this. I'm not going to fight this fight.
Yeah.
So I really do try to have a non-confrontational outlook about it. And it's easier for them, and it doesn't create like a sore spot for them. At home, it's just food. It's just eating normal food. So they've like with some things I do is I've just veganized all their favorite foods, which is so easy. They're simple. They're simple eaters.
That's probably pretty easy to do because you can probably just, for example, if they like burger and chips, you can put burger and chips on for them. Or if they like pizza, you probably just do them pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
So they probably don't notice any different. They just probably like, oh yeah, it's just normal food. That's what I'm eating.
Yep, that's kind of what we try to do.
Yeah. So, in general, do you feel like there's any stigma felt on veganism?
I do. I don't work in an office right now, just because the company I work for has had a lot of us work from home right now. But like when I was working in the office, I mean, there was a couple of us that were kind of dabbling with going vegan, me going back to being vegan, and a couple other people that were trying it for the first time. And I mean, like I live in Oregon, and there's a kind of a vast difference of like, there's very open-minded people and very like conservative and like just meat-eating thinking people.
Yeah.
And so it, there is a little bit of that. One of the things that I've had to deal with is just like feeling like my food is being judged. And before to you that there was a time in my life that I had an eating disorder. And so just feeling triggered when people are judging your food in general is really difficult to deal with. So if I could say anything, it's like, please just don't judge people for the food they eat, because you never know the struggles that people have. But that's the more difficult thing for me. Like, I don't need to change people's minds to go vegan. I just like to share my good food that's just regular food. But just don't judge people for their food, please.
Have you had any bad experiences while being vegan?
Not really, no. I feel like, it's in this last year and a half where I've, been an adult choosing to become vegan again. It's like, I can't say that I've had any bad experiences. I haven't dealt with, really difficult people. I think it's been a really good experience again.
Yeah. What are your favorite vegan products?
Well, when I was first getting my husband to try to go vegan, everybody has difficulty with giving up cheese. And so we tried every single vegan cheese on the market, and it has like gone leaps and bounds from what it used to be. So my favorite is Violife. I think you have that in the UK, but it's pretty.
We do,
yeah.
That
is a really good Violife. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is such a like. They never let me down. I will say that they never let me down. But yeah, I think that's probably, and Gardein veggie burgers are the best ones in my opinion.
Yeah. So what about your like favorite vegan takeaway or restaurants?
Well, so my town doesn't have a whole lot. I mean, our grocery stores I have one grocery store that I go to that is really well stocked. I don't know who does their buying, but it's a small town grocery store, and they have an amazing array of vegan products, like a whole section, like a couple rows. But like as far as restaurants go, like I have to order them veganized sometimes, which thankfully they are companies that are pretty open, like Mexican restaurants. They don't use lard in their refried beans, which is like a huge thing that like I've had to watch out for. But in like Thai food's great. And it's, not a vegan restaurant, but I can get Thai food and it's totally vegan and it's great. But we have one food truck in my town, and they actually are plant-based. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot of variety, but thankfully I can cook.
What's your favorite thing to cook then?
Well, I love cooking stir fries. Stir fries are great. My middle son, it's his favorite thing. I make stir fry and dumplings, and I'd probably make that every single day if it was up to him. But yeah, stir fry, I mean, like, you can't really go wrong. It's like full of vegetables, and you can have rice and like steam buns, and it's like
you can have a lot with it.
Yeah.
Are there any obscure products that you didn't realize wasn't vegan?
So one time I made a cornbread recipe on my Instagram. It was just on stories. It wasn't a post that I was making. And I had no idea that this cornbread mix was not vegan. And I felt so ashamed. So yeah, there's just little stuff like that. And like this isn't a product or anything, but like I saw in Reels, in Instagram Reels the other day, a vegan person saying that they will never go to aquariums. It had never occurred to me that aquariums in general, I'm sure there are ones that are, rescuing animals, but it's like in general, aquariums are not vegan. And the thought had not occurred to me. And like, yep, that makes sense.
What about like candles and toothpaste? Did you realize that they weren't vegan?
Well, no. So the thing about candles is I can't even use candles because I have such bad allergies. So it's like there's certain,
it's not too bad then.
Yeah, there's certain things like that. It's like it doesn't apply because I couldn't use them anyway. There's a product that we have. It's like a sustainable like food wrap. It's called Bees Wrap, and they have a plant-based version. So it's like a lot of these companies are like letting you know ahead of time, like, hey, we have a non-vegan product, but here's a vegan product in replacement. So it's like it's really helpful because sometimes I miss stuff like that. Like it doesn't occur to me. Yeah.
That is not vegan. Yeah. Because beeswax is like bees and like honey and all that, and people have that controversy about honey, if honey's vegan or not.
I know, and like I don't want to be part of the controversy, so I'm just gonna avoid it. I'm not gonna I'm just gonna not eat honey. There's other stuff that I can use in place of honey, and I don't need beeswax candles. Like I can't burn candles anyway, so
yeah.
Yep.
Going back to cooking, say you were making like a soup or something, what's like your favorite soup to make, and what do you use in it?
So like the last time I was gonna make soup, I was gonna make a my aunt had shared a recipe for pasta fajoule, and so like that, it's just vegetable broth, kale, carrots, onions, and then little tiny pasta. It's called ditalini pasta. That kind of thing. It's like it's so simple, and it's everything comes together, and it's just like it does the cooking for you. Soup's great. Yeah. If you're trying to go vegan, or if you can't think of anything vegan, it's like make soup and have bread if you can.
Yeah, because what's the bread like out there? Is all the bread vegan, or does some of it have milk in or egg or?
So in Oregon, there's a company called Fran's Bakery, and they have advertised their bread as vegan for years. And so in my area, it's really, really easy. And I actually like making bread myself. I make sourdough bread. And so but I still do buy sliced bread from this company, Fran's, because like I just have always loved that they've advertised that they have vegan products, even when it wasn't even popular.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually okay in my state.
Have you seen a rise in veganism since COVID?
Well, so it's hard for me to see it because my vegan community is on Instagram, and so it's hard to know when someone chose to be vegan over the pandemic. Like I've had a couple friends that I work with choose to go vegan, but it was before COVID hit.
Okay.
And my family has had such a small bubble this whole time. So it's like I can't actually say that I've seen a rise in it, but I have seen a rise in, the Instagram community. The Instagram community for veganism is awesome. And like I've made so many great connections. So that I've definitely seen a rise in. I just don't know if they're new vegans or not. That's the only thing I don't know.
No, yeah. I mean, it does make sense because like on social media, you're never really sure, are you?
Yeah.
So what would you say to somebody who's just starting out as a vegan?
I would say don't sweat the small stuff. If you make a mistake, no one's gonna come take your vegan card away. Like, we all make mistakes, and don't let someone tell you you're doing something wrong if it's right for you. And I don't know. I always feel like we need to make our own choices, and we need to be accountable to ourselves, and not, we can't be accountable to another person's standards, or ourselves to another person's standard, or hold other people to our standards. So, because, we all are different. So, I would just say that, don't be too hard on yourself, especially when you're transitioning from, eating dairy, being a cheese lover. And if you miss cheese, it is okay. And, just be open and willing to try the new products, or just cut it out entirely. Like, when I was first coming back a year and a half ago, I just decided just to not even try the dairy products. But because my husband wanted it, it was important to him. But I would have just cut it out entirely, because there's really nothing like melted cheese. Like, vegan melted cheese no, I can't lie, it's not exactly like real melted cheese. So yeah,
I've had a lot of people say that to me, like what vegan cheeses are in the UK, and I'm like, well, Applewood's great for melting, but everyone's like, but I don't have that over here. And I'm like, oh, do you not? Do you have Applewood over there?
It sounds familiar. I think they have it in Canada.
Okay.
But I can't. I don't think we have it here.
No.
It sounds familiar, but I think it's because I've seen it on other people's feeds.
Yeah.
Like, especially in Canada. I'm pretty sure they have it in Canada.
Yeah. I mean, it does make sense. I mean, a lot of people say the only cheese we have is Violife. And I'm like, do you? I have like the Asda own brand, Tesco own brand, and then like Applewood, Violife. And I think we have quite Alpro yogurts and cheese. I think they do some weird combinations, but yeah.
Yeah, we have some really great brands. So there's Miyoko's Creamery is also very, very good. She's from San Francisco. I was originally from the California, San Francisco Bay Area. So like all of those San Francisco companies, I'm always ready to support those. And we've got we've got Daya. Daya's not very good. I'm just going to be honest. Daya's not very good.
I have no idea what that is, to be honest. So is it like a cheese?
Yeah, it's a cheese. They have shredded cheese. And they have a vegan cheesecake that I'm sure is fine. They have cream cheeses, but it's just not very good.
No.
But there's tons of like little companies too, and like Whole Foods has their own. There's a company in the U.S. called Kroger, and they have a division called Simple Truth, and they have their own cheeses now. They're not the best, but like the formulas for all of them are like they're continually like improving them.
Yeah.
Like all the like products that say new formula or new recipe. Like, I don't think they can do that, because I think all these companies try new recipes all the time.
Yeah, they probably try and change it up a bit every single time they do it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, trying to improve, because I mean, there's always room for improvement for vegan products that are trying to be like the real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite like milk alternative?
So I drink soy milk. I've always drank soy milk or soya milk. And my youngest son, he's 2, is obsessed with soy milk. Like, I had no issue with transitioning him from dairy to soy milk, because he is obsessed with it. Other than that, I mean, I use almond milk sometimes. But here on the West Coast, like California is huge for their almond trees. They have a huge almond companies. But another thing that they deal with are water issues, and almonds. There's huge drought in California, and like a lot of that is dairy agriculture, meat agriculture. But a corner of that is almonds, and so I try to stay away from almond milk because of that, because all of the grocery stores are taking almond, or like all of the milks in my grocery store comes from California almonds. So trying to reduce my almond intake, in turn reducing my water usage, it's just things that I try to do to be more sustainable.
Yeah. So obviously you said your kid likes soy milk.
Mm-hmm.
What else then do your kids like that are vegan that you've tried them with? Or will they just eat anything?
I mean, for the most part, like my oldest son, he's going to be 11 soon, and he's getting to the age where he just loves his food. He loves his food. So I don't have any problem with like feeding any sort of products to him. And like I try to do a mix of like, the processed foods that are, replacements for, because I do love veggie burgers. But at the same time, I mix in like whole foods as well. But veggie burgers, they adore. I make my own seitan chicken strips, and they love those. I mean, those are a few of the things that they have asked, like, because one of the things that really helps is getting them to help me with the menu for the week. Like if they can help with the menu for the week, it's not just me putting vegan food in front of them and saying, here, you have to eat this. But I keep them a part of the planning, and they're always asking for veggie burgers, stir fry, and the seitan chicken sandwiches that I make.
What do you put in them chicken sandwiches?
So I make my own seitan. I steam it, I fry it like a regular piece of like fried chicken. And then I put on like we call them a hoagie roll. It's like the rolls that are long and thin. It kind of looks like a hot dog roll.
Yeah.
And then I will use like a vegan mayonnaise aioli. Or I'll put like sriracha. For me and my husband, I'll put sriracha in it, like a hot sauce in it, and then pickles. So it's just the sauce, the chicken, and pickles, and they go crazy for it.
Do your kids like helping you in the kitchen then? Get like helping you cook?
Yeah. My oldest son, like he loses interest pretty quickly, but my middle son, he's 7. He loves it. Like he tells me that he wants to be a baker when he's older. So I tell him, you got to come and help me. You gotta learn now. But yeah, he's always asking to help, and it's fun because I mean, the more kids you have, finding those moments to connect with them on a one-on-one is like, it's just trying to find a balance between all of them. And so it's my special time with my 7-year-old.
As long as he's enjoying it and likes to cook, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Probably makes a load of mess and just throws everything everywhere, but
a little bit when they're measuring something out like across the room and then like bringing it and like trying to dump it in and like making a trail of like flour across the kitchen. Yeah, we get that a lot.
Yeah. Is there any food products that you miss?
Well, one of the things that like, if I'm honest, I do miss pepperoni pizza. There are times when I really miss pepperoni pizza. And like, I can't even technically eat it because I have like a really bad allergy to paprika, and pepperoni has like huge amounts of paprika in it. But I would get away with it with pepperoni pizza. So yeah, if I'm honest, I'll say that.
Do you have pepperoni then over there?
We have a couple, but they're not that good. They're just not as good. So we've got one product that's, I don't think we have pepperoni as an actual, on the market in our area. But we have a couple. I don't even know their names, but we've tried them and they're just not as good. So
I would say, because I know we have the corn one.
We have corn, but I haven't seen I think we get a mix of some of the same, and like then we miss out on others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that happens in a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
The UK seem to get everything first, and
Yeah.
then like everywhere else just doesn't get it, and I'm like, what? What's
I
going
know,
on?
like I was talking to my husband about how, like, I think your Pizza Hut UK is so much like I don't even have a Pizza Hut in my town anymore. But I was like, I told them, like, because I see everybody posting like they got Pizza Hut, or I don't know if it's Pizza Hut or Domino's, but it looks like, and it's vegan pizza and it looks so good.
I mean,
and we don't get that.
All three of ours sell it. So Papa John's sell it, Domino's and Pizza Hut all now sell the vegan.
Yeah.
Like either pepperoni, jackfruit pepperoni, just a load of vegetable ones, and then like stuffed crust now Papa John's and Pizza Hut do.
That is so unfair because if we want to get commercial, like if we want to get pizza, if we want to order in pizza, it's like I have to order it without cheese on it, and then and we also have to make sure that the crust doesn't have milk in it, because we have a Round Table here. You can't order it vegan because their crust has milk in it.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make pizza at home and I can survive.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem, I think, as well. Because I think we might have more Starbucks options than like the US do.
Yes. Yeah. We don't have the vegan Starbucks breakfast sandwich yet. We have an Impossible
one. Yeah.
Or we have the Beyond. No, I think it is. I think even they use Impossible here. Because I think it's an Impossible breakfast sandwich, but there's egg and cheese on it. So it's like I can't even order it.
Yeah, because our Starbucks one, it's the tofu egg.
Yeah.
And vegan cheese.
Like, I would eat that. I would totally eat that. Is it good? Do you get it?
Yeah. Yeah. We have like one like 5 minutes around the corner from the house, and it's like, it's a drive-through. So it's very dangerous. So it's like, oh, we could just drive around and get it. 2-minute drive, let's go.
We're traveling today, and I brought my creamer, and I just get the Pike's Place coffee. I like the other ones, but I just stick with the regular stuff because I also can't have cinnamon, and they all have cinnamon in them. So I needed breakfast, so all I got was I got a banana and a plain sprouted bagel, and that's what I got to eat at Starbucks this morning.
Yeah, it's not ideal, really, is it?
Oh, it's not ideal. Not when traveling, no.
Are there any food that you've discovered since going vegan that you didn't know of beforehand?
Well, I mean, I was always very familiar with them, but one of the things that I was always kind of hesitant to try was jackfruit. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why I was hesitant. I think I was afraid of, like, I don't know, like it being fiddly, or just like...
It's a very weird texture, to be honest, on its own.
Yeah. And like... But I tried it. I made like street tacos with it. I think I've made like a barbecue sandwich with it, and it's so good. It's not even that difficult to cook with, if you get it canned. Like, I get it canned because maybe the next step for me is to buy a whole one and cut it up and start fresh. But yeah, I haven't done that yet. But yeah, do
they sell them in the supermarkets near you then?
Yes.
Like the big, massive jackfruits. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you can get like sections of it too. You don't even have to buy a whole big one. So like they even make it easy for you.
Yeah. Or is there any health benefits that you think of going vegan for yourself? Did you see any benefit of it?
For sure. Like I have grown up with a lot of digestive issues. Like I digest very, very slowly. And so like, just to be candid, regularity has improved vastly from when, and like just understanding how slowly I was digesting meat and how bad it was for just to be sitting in my gut, that that has like improved so much. So like if you have any digestive issues, this, I mean, this, and like dairy also is very hard on my stomach, and I couldn't, like, I'm lactose intolerant anyway. You know, like lactose intolerance and like gluten intolerance of the two, people will always ignore their lactose intolerance if they want to have dairy. And I was doing that for a while, and it's like, why was I doing this to myself? So yeah, just my digestive issues have improved so much. And my husband has lost weight. You know, I've been at a healthy weight, so that, you know, and that wasn't my goal. But my husband had like triglyceride levels were high, and so high blood pressure, and those things have greatly improved. And we don't even eat completely whole foods diet. So I mean, there's, you know, we still eat some of the processed foods, and it's totally fine. Like we've even seen those benefits incorporating the processed foods somewhat in our diet.
Yeah. So what's like your favorite like meat alternative?
Well, like, so I will talk about the Gardein veggie burgers that I don't know exactly what they're called, but they're the Gardein ones, and they look like a beef burger. They are so good. I think they're the best one that I've had. That's definitely my favorite one. Plus the jackfruit, because, you know, I grew up in California. You know, tacos are like huge here. I mean, even Oregon, like jackfruit, because like pork carnitas were something that I grew up with. Also in a cuisine, my grandmother was born in El Salvador, and there's a dish called pupusas, and there's shredded pork in those. And so I don't, so when I say I was hesitant to try jackfruit, it was so wrong, because it's a great alternative for shredded pork or shredded beef or anything like that.
Yeah. So what would you do differently if you were starting this journey all over again?
I was having difficulty like trying to think of something like that, because it's like it's such a learning process that you like, I wouldn't really want to change like how I've like, I mean, okay, I will say be more attentive to reading ingredients lists. I think that's all I can really say. But like on the whole, it's like it's such a journey of just learning and finding what works for you, and you know, how much you try to promote it. That's you know, promote your vegan lifestyle. Or if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to like I don't try to turn my family members vegan. I just want them to actually eat the vegan food, but like I haven't even been able to go see them yet. So yeah, it's just, I would probably try to be better about reading ingredients lists, which, like, you know, I've already vastly improved in that area. But starting off.
Yeah, I understand the reading ingredient list thing. I do it all the time, especially in the store. Sometimes you pick up a product and you're like, is this vegan? Is it not? And then you have to look over, check every single ingredient just to check it is. It bugs me when they put soya in something and then put milk powder in it as well.
I know. I do not get that. Like, there was a cheese that I got, and they advertised it as a soy cheese, but yeah, there was milk powder, and I was like, why would you do this? So I had to throw that one away. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of them that I've noticed that just, what I don't understand as well is, do you have Pringles out?
Yes.
Yeah. So the ones in the UK, the salt and vinegar ones have milk in.
Yeah.
But the Texas barbecue Pringles, they're vegan.
Yeah. I don't know why. Like, and you know, I think part of it here is, I think the dairy industry has, they have convinced these companies, like, you need to put this in there.
Yeah.
Even though it's totally useless and you don't actually need it, but we need to stay in business. So we're going to sell this to you and let you ruin the products for the vegans. Something that could be easily vegan.
Yeah. I mean, there is a lot that I've noticed on the shelves, like in the supermarkets. I pick up and I'm like, is this vegan? Look, nope, it's got egg or milk in. It's like, but if you take that out, it could be vegan.
Mm-hmm.
It's like cakes. Cakes in stores are so hard to find because barely any of them are vegan.
I know. And when you make them at home, you make like cupcakes or just something at home. There's so many times when I tell my husband, it's like, why do they make this non-vegan ever? Like, it is so much easier and like cheaper. Like, there's less ingredients in it. There's less things you have to buy. Why does a non-vegan version even exist?
Yeah, that's like the milk though. People don't realise that if you pick up a pint of milk out of the shop, it's like £1.50 in the UK. And then like the soy milk is £1.50.
Yeah.
So it's the same price. Or sometimes it's like the milk's 10p more expensive than the soy milk.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, just get the alternative milk. It's cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like the sugar content too, like when, we were going through this and trying to decide if because there's not a whole lot of information about, young kids, 2-year-olds, 1-year-olds drinking soy milk. Like, it's just like the information is like hardly available, especially from the medical field, how it could affect them. And we're just like, okay, let's just deal with the sugar. Like, my husband was like, doesn't soy milk have like a bunch of sugar in it? And I was like, well, let's just go compare it. And the dairy milk had so much more sugar in it. And I'm like, okay, well then this just made it super easy. Yeah,
because then you just pick the one that doesn't have as much sugar in it. Yeah.
If you're trying to cut back on sugar, and you're at all vegan curious, just don't drink dairy milk because there's so much sugar in it.
Yeah. So what's like your favorite or go-to like ice cream? Like vegan ice cream?
So we just got a Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry's here has so many non-dairy. I mean, you got to be careful with the non-dairy stuff because non-dairy could still mean milk is in it. But thankfully they do use almond milk in their ice cream. But there is another company, just the Ben & Jerry's is great. If like it tastes just like, what I remember as normal ice cream. But there's a company that is from Oregon. It's called Turtle Mountain, and their ice cream is called So Delicious, and they have like coconut milk ones, and they have I think like soy milk based ice creams, and they are so good. There's like they used to have, they've like changed a lot, but they used to have a chocolate peanut butter ice cream, which I grew up, we always had chocolate peanut butter ice cream.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's an American thing, I don't it's possible, but it's the best.
Yeah, we don't have chocolate peanut butter ice cream here.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So no, we don't.
It's chocolate ice cream with peanut butter mixed in, but I ate so much peanut butter growing up. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Was community important to you when going vegan?
No, it really was, because when I first started going vegan, I had my little community of people at work, and we were able to get excited about like cookbooks. Like the cookbooks have also vastly improved since 2002. And so, I was buying cookbooks, and it was just so exciting to share them with the people I was working with, and they'd be interested. And, the non-vegans were able to look at them and get familiarized with it and see that it is just food. So, that was really fun for me. And then, hopping on Instagram and connecting, like, Instagram, I'm sure, I don't know how we connected, I can't remember, but it was probably like a follow back Friday or something.
Probably something like that, yeah.
But yeah, it just, I don't know of another Instagram community that is as supportive of one another as the vegan community. So it has been so important because it just, I don't know, feeling connected and, just, I don't know. I've never connected with so many people around the world under any other circumstance. So I think it's just a really good community of people.
Yeah. So obviously, like, you are posting frequently on your Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of stuff then inspires you?
I love, let's see, like the desserts. When people post desserts, it's like just seeing how amazing vegan desserts can be and how delicious they look. Like, I don't know, I find those really inspiring. But I mean, I, I don't know, like what do you find inspiring? Like,
It depends. Sometimes I look at other people's posts and I'm like, oh, I really like that. Or let me try and recreate it.
yeah.
Or it's like I follow a lot of, like, I'm going to say, like, Bosch, So Vegan, like quite big pages. And sometimes it's just watching their like videos and be like, that looks so cool. I really think that's really cool. Let me go and get all the ingredients and try and see if it actually looks right. And then normally 9 times out of 10, it doesn't look anything like it. But I guess, like, it's that. And then also it's just connecting with people who have the same interests as you and are interested in finding out more about vegan and understanding what it actually is, and that you don't actually have to just have like a salad. You can eat burgers, pizzas, sweets, chocolate, all the same as you did before.
And like another thing that I also enjoy, like the body coach, he used to post a lot more recipes, but like just watching them do their quick recipes and be like, well, I can make that vegan. Or like I love, like, because I will follow non-vegan accounts to get the inspiration to try to veganize them. Like I'm not, I don't get offended by seeing, well, I mean, if I see like a big huge cut of steak on Instagram, I'm like, okay, I can't look at that. It just grosses me out. I don't miss steak, or I didn't eat steak growing up, so it's like seeing it in any phase of my life has just been gross. But like in general, I don't get offended by seeing non-vegan food. I don't get like people, like my family, they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, this isn't vegan. I'm like, it's not gonna hurt my eyeballs to see non-vegan food, and I love being able to veganize something and it be better. So like, it's always inspirational too. So like, don't be afraid to follow non-vegan, like because a lot of non-vegan like health accounts or like fitness accounts, they're not going to use a whole lot of beef because like it's not healthy. So I've not been afraid of that, and it is actually inspiring.
How can we make it easier for newcomers?
Well, I think it's one of the things that I think has improved a lot in the vegan community is teaching people that it is okay to make mistakes. I think I think being very open about that, and being okay, like just it's okay when these things happen, because I think that people just see a vegan lifestyle is incredibly restrictive when it isn't so unrestrictive. So removing that stigma and not like one of the things that, like, the one time I was talking about the cornbread mix that I used that was not vegan, someone pointed it out to me, and they were so nice about it. So like, and that's what I like. I like that it's, I mean, for the most part, I haven't tapped into the section of the vegan community that is mean. So, or that will try to make you feel bad. So yeah, just connecting with people that are nice and understanding and are just there to just help and support. Like, I'd say just just follow people that are nice and are going to support you.
Yeah. If somebody messaged you and said they were looking to transition into veganism, what would you say to them and tell them to do?
I would say do it in phases. Find one thing, like if you're going to cut out dairy, or if you're not into meat, if you're already not into meat, I'd say that meat is probably the easier thing to cut out first, because the replacements are really good. And like the dairy, the plant-based milks are great, better than dairy milks, but like the cheese has a lot of improvement still that could be made, especially in the US. But just find one thing, or just like replace your dairy milks with the plant milk. Just start there. If you start small and make these progressive changes, it really is not that hard. And just start viewing vegan food as just food. It's just food. Yeah.
Do you personally take any like vitamin supplements?
I do. I take a multivitamin, and I make sure that it has B12, because you can only get B12 in supplement form. I have to make sure. I had low iron levels even when I was eating meat, so I have to make sure that I have a multivitamin that has iron in it. And I also take a probiotic just to keep my digestive system going smoothly. So yeah, I do recommend taking vitamins, and make sure they're a vegan vitamin. Make sure if you're going to take gummies, make sure it's a vegan gummy, because they're so easily available, and it's such an easy thing to overlook.
Yeah. I agree with you there, because like the gummy ones, sometimes they say vegan on a website and you'll get them and they won't be vegan when they turn up.
That is messed up. Why would they do that?
Yeah, we ordered before, like me and my partner, we ordered vegan gummies and they turned up and they weren't vegan.
That's so frustrating.
And I'm like, why would you do that? Just is not ideal at all.
Thankfully, my grocery store, they have a whole vitamin section, and they are really well stocked with vegan vitamins and vegan gummies. It's like, I don't know how I got so lucky with such a good grocery store in a small town, but there you go.
I would say, so are your aisles like completely, these are all vegan, these are all vegan, these are all vegan, and or are they just section by section in different aisles?
No, so at my grocery store, there's a whole, like, they call it the natural food section. So like in the freezer and the refrigerator section of this area, I'd say there's like 3 aisles of just vegan, plant-based. But in the refrigerated section, they do have some dairy because it's organic dairy. But other than that, it is like you just choose what you need. You don't have to worry too much, except for still, please read the ingredients just in case.
Yeah. Is there anything else you would like to discuss?
Well, like I just think it's so cool that you reached out to me. Like, I can't advocate enough for the really cool community of people that, especially ones that participate in the Follow Back Fridays, and are actively following and to stay followed. Because I don't always have time to go through and go to those posts and follow back. I just am running out of time to do that kind of thing. But when I was trying to connect more, following the people that are genuinely wanting to connect and be supportive, I was so surprised at how many people are just out there to be nice to you. And yeah, I mean, there are people that follow just to unfollow you. Yeah, it's a great community just to kind of dip your toe into, and just, yeah. And if you're active on Instagram, it's one of the things that has helped me stay vegan at this point. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, community is definitely a good thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially the vegan community.
Yeah, they've been great.
So thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Like, this has been so cool. Like, I can't wait to to hear it and promote it, and just get people to come listen to your podcast. Like, yeah, this was such a good idea.
Thank you. I hope everyone listening found something useful from your story and experiences with veganism. Do you want to remind everybody where to find you before we close?
You can find me at Vegan Somehow on Instagram. One thing I didn't mention before, I do also have a blog. It's vegansomehow.blog. So I post tips and recipes there as well.
Yeah. I will make sure I link that down below in the comments.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you enjoyed the show, follow the show wherever you listen to your podcast, or for those watching on YouTube, click subscribe. There are plenty more to come. If you yourself are interested in appearing on one of these shows to discuss your experiences, or just want to keep up with us, you can find us on Instagram at Making Vegan Ordinary. Or if you want to drop by and have a conversation with us live, me and my partner Chris stream every Friday and Sunday at 6 p.m. GMT on Twitch. You can find the link for all our socials in the description below. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.